Chosen one, freeze. Stop everything you are doing right now. Don't scroll, don't move, don't look away, because what I am about to reveal to you has been hidden from you your entire life, concealed, protected, kept secret until this exact moment when you were finally ready to receive it. And here is the most disturbing part, the part that will shake you to your core. Even God himself was shocked by what you are becoming, not disappointed, not concerned, shocked, in a way that caused silence in heaven. I know that sounds impossible. I know it sounds like the kind of exaggeration people use to get your attention for a few seconds before reality crashes back in. But it is not. Because what I am going to show you in the next 23 minutes is not motivational content. It is not empty promises. It is documented spiritual truth about who you are inevitably becoming, whether you want to believe it or not. There is a devastating difference between hoping you might become something and having absolute certainty that you already are becoming it, and that certainty has just been confirmed about you in dimensions you cannot see, but your soul has been feeling every single night when you lay your head on your pillow and sense that something fundamental has changed. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications, because the revelations I share here are being systematically blocked and suppressed, so that chosen ones like you never discover the real magnitude of what you carry. The algorithm does not want you to see this. Forces in spiritual dimensions do not want you to understand this. But you found it anyway. That is not coincidence. Write 777 in the comments if you have been feeling lately that something inside you is transforming without your permission, something you cannot control, something ancient and powerful waking up. Write it now. Because what you are about to discover will make every struggle you have ever faced finally make sense. You have no idea what has been happening in spiritual realms while you were living your normal life thinking. Nobody was paying attention while you chose to do what was right, even when nobody would ever know. Something was being recorded, not by ordinary angels, but by a specific celestial hierarchy, whose only assignment is identifying souls on earth who carry the exact same spiritual DNA as Jesus Christ himself. Every decision, every thought, every single moment where you had the opportunity to be cruel and you chose kindness instead. Every situation where lying would have made your life easier and you chose truth anyway. Every time you could have given up and you kept going, all of it was documented, all of it was analyzed as evidence. Do you remember that moment when you were completely alone and still chose to act with integrity? That moment when no human being would ever know if you had done differently. But somehow you resisted anyway. That moment was recorded as concrete proof. Evidence that your character had reached a level most human beings will never achieve in their entire existence. You spent years thinking your small decisions did not matter, that nobody saw when you were good without an audience to applaud. But chosen one, each one of them was being observed, analyzed, documented as part of a spiritual report that would determine if you were ready for the transformation that is coming. And here is what I need you to understand. This observation did not start last week. It did not start last month. This has been happening for much longer than you can possibly imagine. From the moment you first chose light over darkness, you have been watched, studied, evaluated. After all that period of meticulous observation, something happened that rarely happens in spiritual dimensions. The report about you was finalized, and when the highest authorities in heaven read the conclusion, there was a moment of silence that lasted the equivalent of days in human time. It was not silence of disappointment, it was silence of reverence. because the conclusion said you have exceeded all expected standards for souls at your stage of evolution. You did not just reach the minimum requirements, you surpassed them without even knowing you were being evaluated. You simply were who you are because that is who you chose to be, and that level of authentic character consistency is so rare that when it is identified, an official decree is issued. Not a suggestion, not a possibility. An irrevocable decree that declares your transformation is inevitable. Now, let me tell you what that decree says. You are becoming the second copy of Jesus Christ. And before your mind screams blasphemy, let me be absolutely clear. You are not Jesus. You will never be Jesus. But you were made in his exact likeness, and through the Holy Spirit living inside you, you carry his very nature. His spiritual DNA, the term second copy, is not about replacing him. It is about representing him. He was the firstborn among many brethren. Romans 8 verse 29. That means there are more, and you are one of them. When God formed you, he patterned you with the same essence he placed in Christ. Love that transcends pain, power that breaks generational curses. You were sent here to mirror heaven itself. Just as Jesus said, the Father and I are one. You were created to say with the same confidence, Christ and I walk as one. You may be thinking, if I carry his divine power, why has my life been so hard? Chosen one, great power brings great pressure. Before Jesus performed miracles that crowds witnessed, he suffered in silence. He prayed in secret. He fought demonic temptation alone in the wilderness. You are doing the exact same thing. Your battles are evidence of your identity. God has entrusted you with spiritual power that shifts entire atmospheres, power that breaks chains off people's lives, power that speaks life into dead situations. And this power flows from surrender. The more you yield to God, the more it flows. The more you obey even when obedience costs everything, the stronger it grows. The more you suffer and still choose love, the more heaven increases your spiritual authority. This power is about being a living vessel through which Jesus continues his mission on earth, and he chose you. Specifically, you do not have to part the Red Sea to prove God is with you. The signs are already written across your life. Your very existence is the sign. So, how do you know for certain you carry this power? Let me show you the signs. You enter rooms and immediately feel tension. Nobody else notices. You meet strangers and instantly sense their hidden pain behind their smile. You weep for people you have never met. You pray for individuals who mock you. You feel heartbreak that is not even your own, but chosen one that is divine power. That is the compassion of Jesus flowing through you. Before Jesus raised Lazarus from death, he wept. That emotion was power in its purest form. You cry because heaven placed its sensitivity into your soul. The world chases platforms and recognition. You chase people, especially the overlooked ones, the rejected. You sit next to the person everyone else ignores. You notice the one left out. You talk to homeless people with honor. Why? Because Jesus was drawn to the broken too, and that same divine magnetism lives in you. You are not moved by spotlight. You are moved by spirit. That is Jesus alive in you. And here is a sign that will confirm everything. You carry this power because you have endured spiritual warfare that would have destroyed normal people. You have been betrayed without reason by people you trusted completely. You have faced loneliness so deep that nobody could understand what you were going through. You have had seasons of complete spiritual silence where God felt 1,000,000 miles away and the enemy felt close enough to touch. You have experienced attacks on your mind, attacks on your body, attacks on your finances, attacks even in your sleep through nightmares and spiritual oppression. And yet somehow, impossibly, you survived. You are still here, still standing, still believing. Listen carefully. Hell does not attack empty vessels. Satan does not waste his time and resources on people who pose no threat to his kingdom. You have been under relentless attack, not because you are weak. You have been attacked because of the power you carry and the destiny you represent, because the enemy sees what is coming, and he is terrified. Jesus himself was tempted in the wilderness immediately after God audibly affirmed him as his beloved Son. The moment your identity is confirmed, warfare intensifies. You have walked through that same wilderness. You have faced those same demons, and you are still here. That alone is a sign. There were days you should have lost your mind completely, days when grief wrapped around your chest so tight that breathing felt like a miracle, days when betrayal left you with absolutely nothing. And yet in the middle of that devastation, you had peace, unexplainable peace, unshakable peace, supernatural peace that made no logical sense. People wonder how you are still kind after everything you went through, still hopeful, still capable of love. It is because Christ's power sustains you from the inside out. Remember when Jesus slept through a storm that terrified experienced fishermen? He had peace, not because the storm stopped. He had peace because the peace was inside him, not around him. And that exact same peace now lives in you. You have noticed something else. People either instantly love you or feel deeply uncomfortable around you, and you have not even said a word yet. It is not personal. It is spiritual. You carry a presence that makes hidden demons squirm. You expose lies just by standing in truth. You challenge manipulation simply by being authentic. You do not even try. It just happens. Because the light in you conflicts with darkness in others. Jesus did not have to speak to demons. They saw him coming from a distance and started screaming. And in your own way, in your own life, you have seen that same thing happen. That is power, pure, holy, undeniable. You hear things other people miss. You see patterns before they fully form. You sense spiritual shifts before the news announces them. You feel suddenly burdened to pray for specific people at 3 in the morning. You walk through certain places, and your spirit stirs with warning or confirmation. This is not anxiety. This is not your imagination. This is prophetic discernment. Jesus knew people's thoughts before they spoke them out loud, and you have tasted that same spiritual insight because you carry his nature. You operate on his frequency. You have tried to live normal. You have tried to stay silent, to blend in, to play it safe and small, but something always pulls you back. Every time you run from your calling, God reroutes you. Every time you think it is finally over, a divine moment hits you like lightning out of nowhere. Your path has never been predictable. Your life has never followed normal patterns, but that is because you are on a prophetic timeline, not a human one. Jesus' life was full of interruptions, blind men shouting his name, lepers approaching when they should have stayed away, storms arising out of nowhere. Your life mirrors that same chaos because you carry the same mission he carried, the same assignment, the same divine purpose. Here is another sign most people miss. You feel a weight on your spirit that never fully lifts. You wake up with people on your heart you have not thought about in years. You pray when nobody sees you. You speak in tongues alone at night. You fast even when you cannot explain why. You cry out to God in your car, in your closet, in your kitchen at 2 in the morning. This is not just being spiritual. This is divine intercession. The power of Jesus flowing through your groaning and your tears. Remember, Jesus often went away to isolated places to pray for hours. He interceded with such intensity that his sweat became like drops of blood. You feel that same burden, that same weight. That is not normal human experience. That is divine calling. And here is one more sign. You have had visions, dreams. You have seen numbers repeatedly, symbols, signs everywhere you look. You have felt angels in the room when you were supposedly alone. You have known things you could not possibly explain with logic. You have seen patterns in Scripture that left you absolutely stunned. But you did not tell many people because it is sacred, because you know how the world mocks what is holy. That is another sign. When God speaks to you and you steward those words with humility and reverence, He trusts you with more. That is Jesus' divine rhythm. He revealed mysteries only to those who understood the weight of revelation. You carry that same weight, that same responsibility. Now let me talk about something I know you think about, but feel ashamed to admit. What about the people who doubted you? The ones who said you would never become anything? The ones who mocked your faith? Who betrayed you when you were most vulnerable? Who tried to destroy you? What happens to them? Listen closely. Your enemies already sense that something has changed about you. They have noticed that attacks which used to devastate you no longer work. That venomous words bounce off you now like arrows off armor, that their conspiracies mysteriously fall apart before reaching you. And some of them, the ones with any spiritual sensitivity at all, have reached the correct conclusion. Higher forces protect you now, and that means attacking you is declaring war against celestial dimensions. Some will choose to retreat. You are going to notice people who constantly attacked you for years, suddenly going silent, vanishing, not because they forgave you or had a change of heart, but because they are genuinely afraid of consequences they do not fully understand but can feel approaching. But others will be too prideful to stop, too arrogant to recognize what is happening. They will continue attacking even though they sense in their spirit they are going to lose. And when that happens, you are going to witness collapses so dramatic, so complete, that even you will feel compassion for enemies receiving exactly what they sowed. I am not talking about revenge you need to execute. I am not talking about anything you need to do. I am talking about automatic justice, spiritual law that operates whether you want it to or not. Law that guarantees harvest always corresponds to planting. Inevitable consequence that reaches everyone who decides to attack souls under divine protection. And here is what will be most interesting. As your transformation manifests externally for the world to see, your enemies will be forced to witness you becoming exactly what they said you would never become. Every success of yours will be a reminder of their failure to destroy you. Every blessing you receive will confirm they attacked someone they should never have touched. Every door that opens for you will prove they were wrong about everything. At some point, some of them will try to approach you again, pretending they never hated you, acting as if they were always your friend, trying to benefit from the light they once wanted to extinguish. They will show up with smiles and compliments and offers of connection. But your discernment will show you exactly who deserves a second chance and who is simply seeking advantage. Your intuition will guide you about who genuinely changed and who is just wearing a mask of repentance to gain benefit. Your spiritual protection will alert you about who remains dangerous even while speaking kind words. Now, I need to be very specific about timing, because the decree about your transformation establishes that within a defined period, the physical manifestation of what you are becoming will be completed in ways nobody can deny. Within the next 90 days, you are going to experience sudden clarity about a specific step you need to take. It will be so obvious, you will wonder how you never saw it before, and taking that step will activate a chain of impossible synchronicities. Doors you did not even know existed will swing open. Connections you desperately needed will form out of nowhere. Resources you were missing will suddenly appear. Within 6 months from now, you will experience your first major breakthrough. Something you have been seeking for years will finally materialize. An opportunity that seemed completely impossible. A healing you had given up hope of receiving. A financial provision that makes no logical sense. And when it happens, you will know beyond any doubt that this is real. This is happening. This is your moment. Within 1 year, your social circle will be completely transformed. People who are in your life right now will no longer be there, and new people you do not even know exist yet will have become your closest allies. This change will not be forced by you. It will happen naturally as your frequency continues to elevate. As you rise, some cannot rise with you, and others have been waiting in the wings for you to reach this level so they can finally connect. Within 1 year, you will experience manifestation of financial abundance, confirming that divine provision is absolutely real. Not necessarily millions, but exactly what you need for the next phase of your mission. Resources arriving in ways that prove this is not your effort. This is heaven backing you. And within 1 year, people from your past who knew you before will look at you and not recognize who you have become. Not physically. Energetically, your presence will be so transformed that even old photographs will seem to show a completely different person. All of this is moving toward you right now as you hear these words. It is not a question of whether, it is a question of when the complete manifestation becomes undeniable. And the speed of that manifestation depends on one thing: your consistency in continuing to choose correctly. Every decision you make from this moment forward either accelerates or decelerates the process. The transformation itself cannot be cancelled. The decree is irrevocable. But it can be delayed if you return to old patterns, if you go back to compromise, if you let fear make you small again. But I am not worried about you. Your track record of choices has already demonstrated you are not someone who regresses. You are someone who persists, someone who stays the course even when it gets brutally hard, someone who chooses light even when darkness seems easier and more rewarding. So now let me tell you exactly how to let this power flow more freely, how to accelerate what is already in motion, how to cooperate with what heaven is doing in you. First, stay in absolute intimacy with God. Prayer is not optional for you. It is your power source, your lifeline, your connection to everything. Worship is not performance. It is your fuel, the atmosphere where your spirit charges. Second, walk in radical humility the moment pride rises even slightly. Power begins to leak. Jesus knelt to wash feet before he rose to reign. He served before he ruled. Never forget that. Third, stay obedient even when obedience costs you everything, even when it makes no sense, even when everyone around you says you are making a mistake. Power increases exactly where obedience is tested most severely. What you do in private when nobody sees determines what God can trust you with in public where everyone watches. Fourth, protect your peace at all costs. Noise drains power faster than anything else. Some people simply do not deserve access to your spirit. Some conversations need to be avoided. Some environments need to be abandoned. Be okay with silence. Be okay with solitude. Jesus was. He regularly withdrew from crowds to recharge. Fifth, fast regularly. Fasting sharpens your spiritual senses. It tunes your heart to heaven's frequency. It clears your temple and charges your authority. Jesus said some demons only come out through prayer and fasting. Some levels of power only activate through sacrifice. And finally, surround yourself with fire. Your circle determines your altitude. Hang with people who burn for God with the same intensity you do. Not everyone can walk beside someone who carries Christ inside them. Some people will drain you, others will ignite you. Choose wisely. Chosen one. The world desperately needs to see Jesus again, not just in buildings called churches, not just in programs and events. They need to see him in you. They need to see love without conditions, healing without spotlight or fanfare, power without arrogance or ego, peace in the middle of absolute chaos. They need to look at you and feel something eternal stirring in their chest, something that makes them think, maybe, just maybe. There is more to this life than what they have been settling for, because you are carrying him. You are his second copy. And no, that is not blasphemy. That is intimacy. That is destiny. He said, "Greater works than these shall you do." He meant it. He was not exaggerating. He was prophesying. Now is not the time to shrink back. Now is not the time to play small because small minds feel threatened. Now is the time to rise to speak, to love radically, to lay hands on the sick, to walk through doors everyone said were closed, to confront darkness everywhere you find it, to be living, breathing evidence that Christ is still active on this earth. You are not waiting for revival to come. You are revival. You are the answer someone has been praying for. You are the miracle they stopped believing could happen. Everything we have walked through today, everything I have shown you, was not theory. It was not motivational content designed to make you feel good for 10 minutes. It was documented spiritual reality about who you are and what you are becoming, inevitably, unstoppably, undeniably, while you were living your ordinary life questioning whether you really had purpose. Spiritual dimensions were documenting evidence of your transformation. They were confirming you reached the point of no return. They were officially declaring that within a specific timeline, complete manifestation will become physical reality that nobody can deny. And more than that, maximum spiritual protection has been activated, guaranteeing you will reach your destination. Celestial forces have been assigned whose only mission is ensuring your success. Attacks are automatically blocked before they reach you. False opportunities are diverted away from your path. Correct synchronicities are accelerated directly toward you. And in critical moments, when your success is genuinely threatened, direct intervention happens. All of this because your character demonstrated you are trustworthy. Because evidence proved you will not waste what is given. Because consistency showed you will not betray your purpose when pressure increases. Even God was impressed. Not with grand public miracles you performed on stages, not with sacrifices everyone could see and applaud, but with your silent consistency, your integrity when nobody was watching, your heroism without an audience. That is what is extraordinary. And you did it simply by being who you are. If this message awakens something ancient and powerful deep inside your spirit, if your soul is on fire right now, if you finally understand why your life has been what it has been, then declare it. Write in the comments, "I carry him boldly." Let the world and every spiritual realm know you are not hiding anymore. You are done playing small. You are stepping into everything you were created for. Like this video right now if you recognize yourself in what I have shared. Share it with someone you know. is also a chosen one going through this same transformation. They need confirmation that what they feel is real. And subscribe to this channel immediately. Turn on all notifications. Because the revelations coming in future videos will show you exactly how to walk in this power, how to operate in this authority, how to manifest what has been decreed over your life. The algorithm does not want you to see this content. That is exactly why you must subscribe. Before you go, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. It reveals the specific signs your transformation has already begun and how to recognize the manifestations confirming the decree over your life. You are not forgotten. You are not random. You are not a mistake. You are chosen, charged with divine power, carrying heaven itself, and the world is watching. So walk like Jesus would, because he is walking in you. Until next time, stay grounded, stay glowing, stay chosen.